Welcome back, Crafty friends. It's Alicia of the Call Me Crafty Al YouTube channel, and I am so glad that you have stopped by today. If this is your first time to my channel, I hope by the end of my video that you'll be inspired to hit that subscribe button below and click on the bell for notifications. If you're already a subscriber and regular viewer, thank you so much for stopping back by. For today's video, I am bringing you the 12th challenge in my No Spend November giveaway and challenge series. If this is your first time hearing about this giveaway and challenge series, I have linked the intro video in the description box below, and I'll pop it up in the upper right hand corner now. Please go watch that video at least once all the way through, because it gives all the specifics on what the prizes are, who can enter, and how you can enter. If you do have any questions after you watch that intro video, make sure to either leave a comment on that video or send me an email. My email address is in the bottom of every single one of my videos. So far, I have shared 11 challenges, and like I say, today I'm back with my 12th. If you want to go check out the other challenges, even if you're not going to play along, I do have a playlist below to my videos. Now, if you want to see who else has played along and their videos, you can click on the hashtag in the description box that says Call Me Crafty Al No Spend November, and you're going to get all the videos that have the hashtag and that have been entered. So I hope that you will do that. There have been some great interpretations of my challenges so far. And if you're kind of like, well, I don't really paper craft, you know what? I have actually had entries where people used fabric scraps and sewed stuff. So it is just anything to get out your crafty goodies, no matter what type of crafter you are. Use products from your stash and then be entered to win some fabulous prizes. Now, I did kind of already forget to mention in this video, again, if you're new to the challenge, what I did for myself this month is I challenged myself not to spend any money on new craft supplies. I have a area in my basement that is overflowing with stuff that I needed to get out and use. Any project that you make for my challenges, it must be new and it must only use items that you already have in your stash. I don't want you going out to the stores and buying more stuff. Let's use what we have. If this sounds familiar to you, I want you to raise your hand out there in YouTube land. Have you ever started a project, got a really good go on it, and then it never went anywhere? Or have you maybe got some inspiration online, whether it was from Pinterest or YouTube or just a thought in your own mind? You rushed out to buy the supplies to create it, and lo and behold, the supplies are still sitting in a bag or in a box or on a shelf and haven't been touched. That is what today's challenge is about. Today's challenge is called The Forgotten, and I want you to pull out those half-finished projects or supplies that you bought to make a project and get it done. I know we probably all have these, so that's why I'm hoping this will be an easy challenge for you. You do have until the 15th of December to make any projects that you are going to enter to win. And just so you know that this is challenge 12, I had wanted to do 15 challenges, but I'm just not going to get to it this month. So my video on November 30th will be the last challenge of the month, and it will be challenge number 13. So maybe 13 isn't such an unlucky number. Let's go ahead though and get to the project that I'm going to share with you today. This was almost a forgotten project. I started my video on Sunday, and the process video just wasn't going how I wanted it to. I have been watching Nick the Booksmith lately, and I just love the books she makes where she tears out the inside pages and makes signature booklets and does awesome work. I'm going to link her channel below, and then I'm going to specifically link, I think it's a 5-part series where she has tutorials on exactly how to create your own book with signatures inserted to it. Let me tell you, her books are fabulous. They look so easy. And I know that she's probably done quite a few, but oh guys, I started this Sunday and I just left it alone for 2 days. Like, it's harder than it looks. But I'm hoping as I do more, because they're super fun, I'm hoping as I do more I get used to the process and then I'm just as quick as Nick. So today's video will not be a process video. I went ahead and completed my project off camera. So what I'm going to do is share with you some of the products and tools that I've used from my stash, and then I'm going to share the final product or the final project with you. This past summer at a garage sale, I found a set of 4 pocket dictionaries. They're each a little bit different with what they have inside, but I thought they would make a fabulous altered book. So I bought them all, and they've been sitting on my shelf waiting to be used. Now, 2 summers ago, I did create what I was gonna start out as a junk journal, but it just kind of ended up being an altered book because it wasn't too junky. And I will link those videos below if you want to go check that out. But I wanted to try another one. In that video, what I did was glue pages together and tear pages out, and I wanted to try one where I completely gutted the book. So that's why I decided to do for today's challenge. So I had a book similar to this. For my signature books, I used pattern papers from this Fireside collection, which is a Michael's Hot Buy pad. This is a newer one, but I bought it in October, so it still follows the rules. And then I also used graph paper and just regular printer paper for my signatures. In this pad, not only are there gorgeous patterns, but there's also some cut apart pages. So you'll see those used later as well. I also pulled out my white and gold twine, which next time I will probably use something different. I need to get some real book binding. I think it's called waxed linen thread. I really need to get some of that. I think that'll make it easier. For tools, I used, of course, you know, my ATG gun for adhesive. I use my die cutter. I use my Xyron, but I also use quite a few dies. So I wanted to share those with you. The first things I grabbed out were these doily dies. I believe these silver ones are from Paper Tray Ink. I've had them for probably 6-7 years, and I didn't write on the back. Normally I do. This purple one, which is a super fancy intricate doily, is a Cherry Lynn Designs die. These 2 are from CC Designs, and I know that you're probably going to fall in love with these and want to buy them. I used to use them a lot in pocket letters for altered paper clips, but unfortunately they do not sell these anymore. And then last but not least, this was a die I purchased in a set of stamps and dies, I think, for planners. It's by Kelly Perky, and I thought I would use this as a bookmark to kind of keep track of where I am in my book. I also have my Tim Holtz tiny attacher, and oh, I almost forgot, I also used the Sizzix book plates die. This has book plates in 3 different sizes, and you'll see how I used it later. And then here were some leftover cut aparts from that Fireside collection, and as I use my book more, I will put these in there. I do have a couple in now, but I'll put in more tuck spots or pockets probably using these. Before I get to my altered book, I wanted to show you what it looked like when the pages came out of the book. And you'll see that I have used some of these pages in my book today, and I tried to pick out pages that had words that went along with the theme of my book. So like I looked for holiday and jolly, which wasn't in there, but jovial was, so I used that. Merry. But I have a lot more pages where I will be able to use those words. Are you ready to see what I created? So here is my first altered book where I took out the inside text block and replaced it with stitched in signatures. Because of the gold foiling on the front, that is kind of why I chose the twine that had the gold metallic running through it. And I decided not to cover the front or my spine. I wanted to leave it kind of that vintage feel for the front. And then I don't think the stitching looks too bad, so I left that like it was. You'll see here I have 4 signatures in here. And then I covered the inside with one of the papers from the pad. It is a lovely plaid with some gold foil stripes running through it. Like I said, I have 4 signatures in here. Each one has 2 pieces of pattern paper. And then I believe I have 4 to 6 pieces of typing paper and the same amount in graph paper. So what I did, I just kind of alternated white paper and graph paper, and we'll go through one of the signatures. So when you open it up, you'll see I use that Cherry Lynn's design die. I folded it in half and I actually stitched it right into the signature. This can either be just a nice decoration or it could be a tuck spot too. The die, after I cut it, was a lot more open than I thought it was going to be. So you'll see here, this is that Kelly Perky die. It makes a nice bookmark. I'm not sure how well it will hold up with just cardstock, but I can make more if I need it. So I'll just put that at the top of whatever page I'm currently on. Next up is one of those dictionary pages that I use. And on this one, you'll see I focus on the word happy. And then instead of using the entire book plate, because the one that fit the word, it wasn't quite wide enough. So what I did, I just snipped off the ends of that medium-sized die and I just kind of bordered the word on there. I thought that helped it stand out from the rest of the words on the page. Here I've come to the next signature, and I used one of the paper tray ink doilies. I cut out, I believe, 8 total in ivory, and then I also paired it with one of the CC Designs banner dies. I thought this made a nice tuck spot. And then over here on this, you know, maybe you want to stamp a date, or maybe you want to kind of point to highlighted information, or you can use it for another tuck spot. On this page, this was actually a gold foil square with the poinsettia in the middle, and what I did, I just cut it out so the poinsettia kind of hangs out like a tab. Most of these items I have stapled in with the tiny attacher. You'll see here in a little bit I did glue some. And now we come to the middle of that first signature. I forgot another tool I used was my We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board, but what I did is I made an envelope and stitched that right into the middle. This could hold memorabilia or it could hold a little note, but I have one of those in each of the signatures. Here's one of the glued pieces that I mentioned. This was actually probably a 6-inch long strip. And what I did on the front is I glued on the right edge and the bottom, kind of like a little pocket. And then on the back, I glued down this whole thing. And again, I thought if you wanted to write a special note or a date here, you could do that. I have another banner die with doily here. This time I used the fishtail end. This down here, I just stapled at the bottom, another tuck spot that you could use. Also decorates the page. We've come to the other side of our dictionary page. The other half of our fancy doily, and the end of the signature book. I will quickly flip through the rest of the book just so you can see it. You can see the different patterns of both the booklet and the combinations with the banner dies. On this one I focus on the word jovial because, like I said, jolly was not in there. This page focused on Merry, M-E-R-R-Y. This one focused on I hope that you enjoyed this little look at my project for today's challenge. If you did, as always, I appreciate a thumbs up. I hope that you will be able to get out one of those old projects that you started or never got out at all and get that finished and join me for this challenge. Like I mentioned before, on the 30th will be my last challenge for the month, and it will be lucky number 13, and I will see you on that day with my final challenge. Until then, I hope you're having a crafty day. Bye-bye.